I am sitting here with Lori and Ron Skidmore at Deep Creek Pottery. So tell us more about yourselves and Deep Creek Pottery. What are we chatting about today?
Well, we offer a lot here that we do. We have a paint your own pottery studio that you can come in anytime that we're open and paint pottery. Usually about a week's turnaround time to get it back. We also offer clay classes. We have handmade pottery here in the shop. Big variety of that. We offer mosaic tile creations. That's a nice thing that you can do and take with you the same day.
Oh, cool.
Since we get a lot of tourists, that's really nice. And we also, a new thing that we have is crushed glass and resin sun catchers.
Oh,
Which
okay.
are very fun. There's certain shapes, like right now we have some springtime shapes and flowers.
We're trying to get to springtime. Very much trying.
Yeah. So you basically put the crushed glass in the little sections and then we pour resin over them and it just makes a really pretty sun catcher.
Oh, cool. We'll have to check those out after we're done chatting here.
Absolutely.
And we'll put them in the video version of this podcast.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Cool.
And of course we offer the clay classes, pottery wheel, all the fun stuff.
So when people think of pottery, they think of the wheel, right?
They do, usually. Or the movie Ghost.
Is that accurate? No, it's been a while since I've seen the movie. Is that accurate? Is that just one facet of what you offer here? I mean,
it absolutely is. Yeah, for clay classes. So there's, the wheel isn't for everyone. It's not an easy thing to learn, but we're very hands-on and we make sure that it's a good experience for them. And, but we also offer hand building classes, like make your own mug, make a vase class. And these are just, hand built that doesn't involve the pottery wheel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you all been in business? If the audio could pick up the facial expressions right now, I think it's been a while.
We started out about 30 years ago at Laurel Ridge Pottery, and we just ran it out of our house.
Mm-hmm.
We had a few people come in for lessons on the wheel, and we had pots that we took to the farmer's market and did shows like the Autumn Glory Show and various other shows throughout the county. And eventually, Laurel Ridge Pottery got to be bigger than the space we had there, so we expanded. And we outgrew our little space at home, and now, of course, we have the shop here. And of course, a lot of people know that I was a teacher at Garrett College for a while. And after retirement, I really missed. I realized that after 40 years of teaching, I missed talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an opportunity for, to give feedback on our work. People come in, we hear expressions said about our work, and we can, fine tune our craft.
Nice.
And we look forward to what we can still create in the future.
Should
as
I?
Deep Creek Pottery. So
Awesome. Should I mention what year I had you at Garrett College? I don't want to age us both. So.
Sure, it was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was just a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2005, I believe. That's all. Just 20 years ago.
I do remember that you took a class. I can't remember which class or what your grade was, and I don't
good.
know that.
And it was, I think it's just the basic intro to art, I believe. Okay. I remember big sketchbook and...
the basic design, yes.
And I think we did a charcoal drawing.
Yeah, it's a survey of a lot of different media.
Yeah.
And basic design one, yes.
Yeah, it was very...
That was a good class, one of my favorites.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Can't believe it's been 20 years ago, so that hurts a little bit.
20.
So, what prompted the name change from Laurel Ridge Pottery to Deep Creek Pottery?
We thought that we could grow more with that, and we found out that was a really good move.
Mm-hmm. So did that name change happen when you moved out of your home studio to...
It was before that. Yeah, it was before that, yeah.
Nice.
And it did. It proved to be a good move.
Yeah. And people really... recognize the Deep Creek name. When you're out, I was in Vegas a couple years ago on a bus and someone had a West Virginia hat on. And I said, "Oh, we're from Deep Creek." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I have a house at Deep Creek."
Right?
I'm like, "Of course you do."
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows Deep Creek.
Yeah. Plus, it's easier to say and it's easier to spell.
Yeah.
We get tired of spelling Laurel all the time.
Yeah.
But the Deep Creek name, I think, helps identify where we are.
Mm-hmm.
There's Laurel Ridges all over the place. So There's
Have to be
only
honest,
one.
I never looked it up, but
There's only one Deep Creek here.
okay.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you love and appreciate Deep Creek Lake. What have you found by having your studio now here overlooking Deep Creek Lake? Have you
We've definitely been busier.
busier?
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. We can hold the customers. We've had a full house many times here, so it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it is it different inspiration for projects or
It is.
Yeah.
I suppose that would be true. Just having a studio big enough and having regular hours
Mm-hmm.
where people can just come in during regular hours and create.
Cool.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity for us to feature some other local artists and,
Mm-hmm.
other crafters in the area.
Yeah.
So, most of the gifts and so forth we have here are locally sourced, or at least in the state of
Some.
Maryland. There's some from different places all over the world, but it's all handcrafted, all unique, individualistic pieces, no two alike.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I think the essence of art is that's the individuality of it all,
Mm-hmm.
creativity.
That's really great. So you would say that this is a gift shop as well as a studio or
Absolutely.
It's sort of a workshop, gift
workshop?
shop.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking kind of past you there and I see some knitted hats and gloves and things. Perfect for a day like
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm
Well-
kind of looking around. Go ahead, Ron.
Our shop is like two spaces. So we have our playroom back there.
Okay.
And we kind of keep this as our clean area, our retail space.
Gotcha.
So we have a retail space and a workshop space.
So
It's working real well.
we neglected to say where you're located. You're actually in the second floor, first floor. How do you just
Lower
lower
level.
lower level
of the fort. in
of the
Kent.
fort? Okay, and so if you all are familiar, any of our listeners have been to Deep Creek. It's kind of next to the Fun Zone, Black
Pine
Bear
Lodge Restaurant
Pine Lodge.
is
yes.
I think mostly
Okay.
known for
Right.
that.
Yeah. If you're heading towards Pine Lodge and you're going to park in the front of their lower level, you're just
Just above that.
just above that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Our parking's
making hand
clear above
motions, but
this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not a bad view out there.
Oh,
you know.
gosh.
Yeah.
even
We like it.
Yeah.
even
we,
though it's a lot of white out there today.
It's
Yeah.
pretty to see from here.
and what was it last week? You saw the bald eagles?
There's a nest somewhere up there. There
Yeah,
were three of them.
they were flying
Oh,
right,
cool.
right around
Yeah.
front.
Oh, cool. So, what is your favorite creation? What do you do here at Deep Creek Pottery that just gets you excited and
My
out of
most
bed?
favorite is just making pots on the wheel.
On the wheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love the pottery wheel, and if I go a day without doing it, I get a little cranky.
Oh. No words exchanged here, but
I
some
do.
head
I just
nods.
love it. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so walk us through how to create something on the pottery wheel. Like you're talking to a kindergartner.
Okay. So at first we do offer hour-long lessons.
Okay.
I'll do a demo to start out with. I talk a whole bunch. I don't expect them to remember it, but I feel it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I do my demo, I get them on there and we're very hands-on. So we guide them through and make sure that they get something
Okay.
that they are happy with.
Mhm.
So you take a
A ball of
ball
clay.
of
clay. Yeah. How big is this ball of clay?
Usually we start out with about a 1 pounder,
Okay.
1 pound ball
Kind
of
of like-
clay,
And
baseball.
we're all gesturing like a hand
baseball,
baseball. Okay.
baseball size, right?
Perfect.
And we generally start with bowls because they tend to come easier whether you want them or not.
Mhm.
Okay.
The clay
That's
just-
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
we get
then-
a lot of bowls in
And
here.
there's the 3 steps in throwing. First of all, you have to have wedge the clay, make sure there's no air in it,
Okay.
and make sure it's mixed well. Wedging is like kneading bread dough.
Okay.
And then you slam it down on the wheel and you center it. The first step is to center the clay. You can't go any further unless the clay's centered. So once it's centered, then you open it up and you set an inside dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of switch your balance to the other side and you gradually pull the clay up as it spins on the wheel. And that for me is one of the most exciting things, to see that clay just grow
Mm-hmm.
on
Yeah.
the wheel head.
Cool. I
I
gotta
do a
try
lot
it
of the
sometime.
Mhm,
glaze work
absolutely.
too. We both throw, but she
Mhm.
throws more than I do. I do more of the hand building work, And I especially like the abstract painting of applying the glazes. It's
Mm-hmm.
certain way I turn the pot and pour glaze, or I use a little eyedropper thing, or I splash it, or there's certain simple gestures. It's almost like a dance
Yeah.
when glazing the pottery.
Well, and I do know from limited experience, I participated in a workshop probably 3 years ago where we were painting or glazing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure the terminology, one of the grandma's Christmas trees. And the glaze isn't very colorful. So it's almost like you don't know what you're going to get to some extent. Is that
Some of that is true, like the
okay?
ceramic Christmas tree,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, when you paint that on, and that's a different kind of glaze as opposed to
Okay.
the pottery class.
Oh,
Mhm.
all
So it's a
right.
whole different kind of clay. It's a different firing, different glazes altogether.
Mm.
But yes, the paint
So,
your own pottery, like for the Christmas trees,
mm-hmm.
that particular shiny green glaze is brown when
Yeah.
it goes on. So
Yeah.
it takes the kiln too
Yeah, my
to
tree
turn it.
was not very pretty as we
But
were
then when you
painting.
got it back,
Yeah, when I got
Yep.
it back, it was beautiful.
right?
So,
Yeah,
so
the
tell,
heat work, the kiln changes everything.
yeah. So does it work the same for the thrown pottery, like you were mentioning with the
Yeah,
platters or the?
it's a different set of glazes. They're not as bright as the low fire
Mm-hmm.
paint your own pottery. In fact, the higher temperature you go in the kiln, um, the more durable the clay becomes, and the more useful it is in like kitchenware and dinnerware. So it's all sets of different glazes. We have basically three ranges. We do the low fire, it's called, for the paint your own pottery, which is about 1800 degrees.
Mhm.
And then the cone 6, it's referred to, electric firing in an electric kiln, which is around 2200 degrees. And the colors are a little more muted. They're not as brilliant like coloring book colors that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then the high fire glazes get to be more I don't know, earthen. They have a different range of colors available, and that's like at 2400 degrees.
Okay.
And then in a gas kiln also, you have real fire instead of just electric heat. The real fire burns the oxygen out of the clay. It reduces the oxygen level in the clay and makes it more vitreous and tighter,
Hmm.
more functional.
Oh,
Whereas the paint your
yeah.
own pottery is not really recommended for microwave or dishwasher. It's still
Okay.
usable,
Mm-hmm.
but not recommended for that. Whereas a pottery we make, it's a high fire stoneware. So it's all very durable for dishwasher, microwave, oven, all that.
Now, just to make sure that I'm hearing you, this is high fire that we're looking at here. So
Yes.
Yeah.
to your comment, it is more earthen. It's not
It's
muted, but it's got a lot of browns and darker
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
undertones to it.
where you can
Yeah,
see the
especially
glaze
with-
chart there, where the colors are more
Yeah.
primary, brilliant.
Yeah.
The high fire stuff is just great for the lake, though. That
Oh,
is
it is.
Deep Creek's aesthetic right there.
Yeah, yeah. The landscape pattern that we do, that's
Yeah.
probably our most popular.
Yeah.
Now, tell me more about the red. They have, obviously on this podcast, you can't see, but we'll put in a photo maybe. There's a real vibrant red right in the center. Is that also high fire?
It is. It's sort of a mid range that we
Oh,
do.
okay.
Okay. But yeah, we usually don't use a lot of the red, but we wanted an eye catcher there.
Well, it
You know,
certainly
so it
works.
doesn't, yeah.
Well,
Let's get your eyes there to
I'm
the
not sure
pottery
exactly
display.
when that changed, but it used to be all the red colors in ceramics used to be from lead, of course, which is poison.
Mm.
And
Don't want that.
certain, like a slice of tomato on a plate that's been glazed with the lead leaches out, and it's very harmful to an individual to eat off that. But somewhere along the line, they invented a way to frit, they call it,
Mm-hmm.
the bad juju out of the red glaze.
Mm.
And I think it's the copper carbonate, which substitutes for the lead, and it is now a lead-free glaze
Okay.
that we use on the red.
What's your favorite piece? We're all three looking at this shelf of. Do you have a favorite coffee cup or a favorite size bowl or?
So I have these. This is actually the high fire in the gas kiln that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that it turns the clay a little bit darker than the other. It's the same kind of clay as the others,
Mm-hmm.
but it's fired a little bit hotter. And I just love the look. It's a whole different set of glazes. And it's just a different look that I've grown to like.
How do you achieve that look?
So we have a set of glazes that we use. And, you get tired of using one glaze on the same piece. So Ron came up with pouring all the glazes together to
So
see
is
what
he
would happen.
responsible for this?
He is responsible for
I
that.
couldn't decide on which
Absolutely.
color, so I used all of them.
They're not brown, which is what a
Basically,
beginner artist would
I
think.
just hold it upside down and then pour
Uh-huh.
and turn it and pour. And there's a couple
And different layers.
And then I'll pour another layer over top.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the effect that creates.
Yeah.
Now, the landscape images, of course, they're the sky blue we pour inside and then dip the top lip to a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we dip the bottom into a green, and then I hold it sideways and pour the sort of a tan.
Oh,
And then I use the eyedropper to get like a dark contrast that runs
yeah, that's very
on the
cool.
vertical pieces.
That's a process. No doubt.
Yeah. I enjoy the abstract painting of the glaze applications.
Mhm. And we'll put photos in here, but from where I'm sitting, some of those glazes actually look like trees, but not quite, so it is an element of abstract, but
Mhm.
you can definitely see landscape, but it's not, painted on trees.
Abstract, but
Mhm.
suggestive. And
Suggestive,
still
there you
looks
go.
like a landscape.
Yeah,
And I've
very
had
cool.
people even say, "Oh, I see a little barn in here." And, "Oh, look, and there's a wagon." And, they see things in there. That's exciting to hear people talk about what they're seeing in those.
Yeah. I can imagine people picking up a piece and saying, this looks like my backyard, or this
Right.
looks similar to where I grew up.
It
Or,
reminds them of
yeah.
something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at this piece in front of us. You don't have to glaze to fire. A bottom part of this container is not glazed.
Right. We don't glaze the
Yes.
bottoms of any of them
Okay.
because what happens in the kiln, the glaze melts at a certain temperature. And if we glaze the bottom, it would just melt to the kiln shelf and ruin your kiln shelf. And then you have to take a hammer and
Right.
Not
it
that
off.
that's ever happened. No.
Yeah, right.
But this particular one, I mean, we did leave some clay showing, some
Mhm.
raw clay,
Mhm.
intentional there, just for a different look.
Yeah, the gas kiln, like I said, it cooks because there's real fire. It
Mhm.
burns the oxygen out of the clay,
Mm-hmm.
and it reduces the clay
Darkens.
with that extreme heat. Also, it almost turns it back into a piece of granite. Stone where it once was granite
Okay.
about 2 billion years ago,
Yeah.
and it turns it back into the rock basically when you cook it in the kiln.
How long?
And the pretty color of the clay itself, I think, is just amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And it's so different as you're spinning that around. How long are you firing these pieces for?
The gas-fired pieces they stay in the kiln to fire about 12 hours and then another couple of days to cool down
Okay.
because that gets up to 2,350 degrees. So
So that process
super
is
hot.
sitting it in the kiln, turning it on,
The
turning it off.
temperature rises for about
turning it up
12
every day.
hours.
Oh, okay.
And then it has to cool down for about another 12 hours. So
Before
it's
you-
usually 2-day turnover on a kiln firing.
Okay.
Now, bisque firing, we fire everything twice.
Hmm.
The glaze firing, of course, that's last. But the first firing is called a bisque, and it just cooks the clay enough to accept the liquid glazes
Oh,
without melting the clay down.
okay.
So the bisque firing, we usually do about 20 hours, 22 hours. It helps cook all the organic material. Anything that we don't want in the clay usually gets burned out. Then we hold a temperature around 16 to 1800 for a long
Okay.
time, and it just comes out cleaner looking in the end with a longer bisque firing.
Now, what was the term that you just said that you bake it so the glaze doesn't?
The glaze is water-based paint, or it's a water-based substance, right?
Oh, okay.
It mixes with water.
Uh-huh.
Different colors like to have different amounts of water in it.
Okay.
And that's another science in itself. There is
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to get a science lesson
the
today.
whole
but
the whole chemistry of the glaze work is
Yeah.
pretty intriguing.
it
But
sounds-
what was I talking about?
Just
I'm 76 years old.
the bisque, that first firing
Oh,
process.
right.
So if you didn't do that and you painted a glaze on, what would happen? It would just
Well,
would it crumble or melt or?
if you don't cook the organic material and the unwanted burnables out of
Mhm.
the clay, and you put the glaze on, then it bubbles out through
Oh, okay.
the surface of
It
the
affects the
glaze,
glaze, yeah.
Okay.
and which basically ruins the piece.
Okay.
The purpose of the bisque firing is to cook out the organic material, and it turns the clay hard and makes the pot ready to accept glaze. It soaks in
Right.
that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't quite realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Certain clays like to be cooked at certain temperatures. I know we had a friend who did a lot of porcelain, and she would bisque hers at a very low temperature, and she had her glazes coordinated with that so that the porcelain accepted the glaze in a certain way, and she got very consistent results out of her work. And we're approaching that ourselves too with certain glazes. We keep trying new glazes, and of course they keep changing materials too. Like there's a substance called rutile, which is sort of a iron that makes a real pretty blue in the kiln, and they closed the mines. We can't get that rutile from the same place anymore.
Oh,
And that changed everything in the glaze formulas. It just came out different.
interesting. How long ago was that?
It was
It's
like 10 years
ongoing, I
ago.
think, with
Oh.
different
The
different
latest-
chemicals.
Okay.
The latest thing was the Texas talc. They found had a certain amount of asbestos in the talc, and we can't get that anymore.
Okay.
So we have to substitute some way, and we have to reformulate our glazes to make them fit the
Mhm.
clay bodies. Yeah.
Now you said you're kind of approaching consistency yourselves. Would you, looking to my right, would you say that this landscape high fire is your signature style?
Pretty much.
Do you want it to be? Do
Yeah.
you want it
Yeah.
to be
Yeah,
something
well,
different?
we can earn that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's very dependable.
It is, very
predictable
reliable.
and predictable. We know what effect we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not like we have to test everything anymore, but we do test new ones.
Mm-hmm.
You get tired of a certain color after a while, and you just
Yeah.
want to have something different. So you test another formula, and there's glaze formulas, thousands of glaze formulas. And
And
when I
different
was working
styles.
at the college, I was doing a lot of testing there,
Yeah.
just trying to get a nice palette of colors available.
Cool. Um, n- I think I'm learning a lot about certainly thrown pottery that I didn't know before. Is there anything that we should talk about with regards to the paint your own pottery or any number of the projects that the public can kind of take advantage of without any
Absolutely.
experience?
So we were really craving something new, a new
Mhm.
project. So here's the crushed glass and resin sun catchers
Oh, yeah.
that I've mentioned before. So there's different forms you can see on the wall. We have all the different color of crushed glass.
Mhm.
And you basically pour it into the sections, whatever colors you want, and then we pour resin over top of them. And we ask that they be kept here overnight because the resin is still wet. So, but it will cure enough overnight for them to take it home with them.
Well, it's one day turnaround on that.
Yeah. And yeah, we've gotten a really great response from those. People like those.
Yeah, they're really vibrant.
Yeah.
And on a cold, snowy day.
Uh-huh.
They're
Right?
very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's sort of looks like stained glass windows, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to deal with the soldering iron and the copper wire wrapping and the grinding of the glass and so forth. It's just
and people can paint the frames if they want a different color. You can see the bird. I painted black,
Mm-hmm.
the frame part and the mushroom as well. So you can do that or not. That's a personal preference. But yeah, those are really fun. I enjoy doing those.
About how long does it take to do one of those projects?
Anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
So great
start to finish.
afternoon
Mm-hmm.
thing. Do you need an appointment?
You do not for these. These you can walk in, and just like the paint your own pottery, mosaic tile creations that we offer, and these sun catchers. They can all be done just on a walk-in basis.
Okay. And you guys are open. We didn't talk about your hours yet.
Right. So right now we are open Thursday through Monday, 11 to 5.
This would be a winter off-season hours.
Off-season hours. Summertime, we're every day.
And when does summertime schedule start?
Memorial Day weekend.
Pretty much Memorial Day is the big day for
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very good.
Now, the clay classes, though, we do have to have sort of an advance notice on that because if somebody's working back here, we have to have somebody out front.
Okay.
In the retail area.
And there's
and
prep
that's
work.
And prep work.
the
for
throw classes.
Yes.
Yes.
And hand building as well.
Okay.
Any kind of clay
Any
classes
Any
are
kind
by,
of clay.
by appointment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgive
we have
my
to be prepared for
Yes.
that.
No, all good. All good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you're hand building something, tell me more. How does you start with a baseball size piece of clay? Is it similar?
Yeah, the clay comes in a like a 25-pound cube. And
Okay.
you slice it off with a wire, so you have like a flat wafer,
Mm-hmm.
Slab of
clay.
clay.
and you slam it on the table to stretch it, and you roll it with a rolling pin,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can cut out a shape, and
Okay. Like
or many shapes,
like a cookie cutter.
right? Sort of.
We can
yeah.
do that. Like for the Make a Mug class, that's probably our most popular
Okay.
hand-built class.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we have a template. We roll out a rectangle, certain size, and then we have these cardboard tubes that we wrap it around to keep it nice and round.
You've done this a time or two, huh?
A few. Yeah. And then we have all the different texture stamps and rollers, and they
Okay.
can choose their own design. And then we add a bottom, and then we add a handle, and they get to choose their glaze color before they leave.
Okay. Very cool.
Because that's another whole lesson, to have somebody else come in and glaze their own pots when they
Mhm.
don't know how. It's risky.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
just a better idea that we do it. They
Okay.
can choose their color.
So you just you have a swatch sheet where they could pick this color blue, and you all just handle that
Mhm.
kind of behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
our kilns also are at our home. They're not here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything moved over to the studio except for the.
Yes, we have boxes with blue rags that we haul many, many back and forth every day.
Hopefully your mileage is deductible.
It's all good.
Well, we don't live that far away,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's cool.
So if someone does make your own mug, but they're heading out of town, can you ship it to them?
Absolutely. We do a lot of shipping for
Okay.
that. The paint your own pottery, sometimes it works out if they paint early enough in their stay,
Mm-hmm.
they can have it back before they leave
Okay.
town, so they
Cool.
can pick it up on their way out.
Cool.
It works out pretty often, actually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Now, the mosaic tiles you could take with you the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you glue the tiles down on a certain wooden form, and then we grout them before they leave, so they can take them with them the
Mhm.
same day.
Yeah, the grout sets up in about 20 minutes.
Okay. And is that able to be colored, or is it just white or just black?
We can color it. Yep, we can use acrylic paint to color the
Okay.
grout. We don't do that often, especially in the busy season. It's
Mhm.
just, because we're so busy.
Right.
It's usually a standard white.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Nothing
Mhm.
wrong with that.
Right. Yeah. It looks
Yeah.
nice. It changes the whole look of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We use a lot of the black grout during Halloween
Okay.
projects.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So what is your favorite, if someone has an afternoon here at Deep Creek
Mhm.
and has a small family, like what's the best thing for them to come do at Deep Creek Pottery?
Well, that depends on if they want it shipped or not. Again, that's the reason we do a lot of mosaics, because, it's
Mhm.
just an extra charge to ship it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's probably the most logical thing if you're only here for a couple of days.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But a lot of people don't mind the shipping. So it's usually about a week's turnaround time.
Well, and I'll put the photo in of the mug. The mug it feels like legit pottery.
Well, it
You know,
is.
so
yeah.
if this is your first time looking to have a unique Deep Creek experience,
Mhm.
I would recommend the Make a Mug.
Absolutely.
Then you have a piece of legit pottery. I don't know. I'm not trying
Exactly.
to insult you.
No,
but
it's yeah.
Looks like
It's more
pottery.
functional, and it's handmade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Handmade by them.
Very cool. Now, is there a difference between the slab? I can kind of tell that a slab was like maybe stamped or with decorations
Mhm.
versus like the coils. Is that a different style?
It's a
or
different technique.
just a preference.
The coils, you can see the owl
Mhm.
base up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's pretty elementary. We roll out the coil. We
I
go
was
back
just
to
gonna
5th
say,
grade.
yeah,
We
isn't
roll
that what
some
everyone
coils.
does?
Yeah, yeah. We roll coils and then, kind of pile it up into a certain shape and seal the inside of it so it doesn't leak. And that's very versatile. We do a lot of that for mainly kids classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So open the curtain here.
Mhm.
Is there a technique to the coils? Do you do 100 that are 10 inches long, or is it one
No,
long?
they're all different sizes
Okay.
and shapes. We do encourage some consistency in the size.
Okay.
You don't want to put a big fat coil on top of a little coil, and it could just make it
Physics or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk to Ron about the science.
Right,
behind
right. But we do encourage the same size coil when you're
Okay.
doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just comes
Yeah.
out better,
it.
and
Yeah. It's super cute.
yeah,
And how do
Yeah.
you seal the inside?
just with the wooden tool that we used, it's like
Oh.
almost looks like a popsicle stick.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we
Okay.
just kind of smooth the clay together while it's still wet,
Okay.
and smooth it out
sense.
with your fingers and a damp sponge
Mm-hmm.
to finish it off
We
a
have a
little
very
bit.
large collection of textural stamps
Mm-hmm.
and things to punch into the clay to make the decorations on the outside of the clay.
Decorative
Yeah.
rolling pins.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you all wanted to mention before I ask you my 3 hard-hitting questions?
Um.
We are gonna. You may have heard this. We are going to be offering the empty bowls.
Oh, yeah. Tell us more about that. I have seen it, but I'm
Okay.
not sure the details.
So this was started years ago by a high school teacher who recognized a need in his community to help out the food banks.
Okay.
So he had his students make some bowls and donate them back. And then they held a soup luncheon at his school where teachers and other students could come in and pay a small fee, fill their bowl with soup,
Mm-hmm.
and they get to take that bowl home with them.
Oh,
The bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it became a global movement. Really, I know Morgantown has a very successful one, and
Yeah.
I think they raised about 150,000 last year
my.
for their local food bank.
Yeah.
So,
Just about every pottery shop in the world does an empty bowl.
and this is Garrett
Okay.
County's first one.
Yeah.
So, we're excited to partner with Community Action
Mhm.
and Community Works
Okay.
for that event. So, which will be held in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work? Do I pay a small fee to come and make the bowl?
So, yep, good question. So, we have bowls to paint out here.
Okay.
That we'll offer. We'll have a certain table that you can, and if you donate it back to the cause,
Mhm.
then you get 25% off.
Okay.
Okay. We collect the bowls until the big event.
Mhm.
And we'll have a certain reduced price for hand-built bowls. So we're going to be offering a lot of that as well. Classes, we're hoping to do maybe a class a week
Mm-hmm.
for that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure, we'll be doing a lot of lessons on the wheel too.
Yes.
We are
Yeah.
going to offer that, and hopefully, just
Yeah.
have a nice variety of everything.
So then in the fall, you said it's the kind of culminating event for the year?
Culminating event. The location's to be determined right now.
Uh-huh.
We still have a lot of details to work out for
Okay.
for how it's going to play out.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
But it will be some sort of food-centered soup
A
event?
A soup and bread
Yeah.
event.
Bread? Okay.
Yeah. And maybe some desserts. We're ironing some
Mhm.
details out.
Okay.
Because
very cool.
we just got, moving with it with Community Action and Community Works.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic.
yeah, there's other local potters probably are going to donate bowls to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an opportunity for a lot of the local restaurants then to promote their soups
Mm-hmm.
and to sort of a showcase of what they can offer.
And just really involve the community in it as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're
Thanks
hoping
for-
for a really great turnout for that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll do what we can to spread the word, and thanks for
Wonderful.
mentioning it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get more detail after we get the details ironed out. We'll get more of a news release in the newspaper or
Yeah.
something, and
Sounds
right in
good.
your lakefront.
Perfect.
So
Yes.
Awesome. So my 3 hard-hitting questions. What is your least favorite thing about owning a pottery studio?
Oh, gosh.
the shipping.
That's kind of a loaded question. I think we talked about it. You said you use a lot of bubble wrap.
Yes,
We have to. We wanted to get there safe. So
Yeah.
if you paint something this big, it's going to be in a box this big.
Mm-hmm.
right.
You know.
Yeah,
So We want
Yeah.
to make sure it gets there safely. Most of the time it does.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's occasions where it arrives with a big hole in the box or who knows what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, we're not making any money off the shipping. It's just an offer that, it's usually something around $15 a piece.
Mhm.
Or $15 for a box if you can get 2 or 3 little pieces in the box. So it's a certain size that goes for a certain price. And
Mhm.
we're getting pretty good at estimating the shipping.
Getting creative with your Tetris in the box, making sure you can
Yeah.
fit as many pieces as possible.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also. So what is the most unexpected thing that you've learned or you enjoy or something you didn't anticipate when you opened this big studio?
I love it when we get families and groups in and they are just having a wonderful time and laughing and just really enjoying themselves. And that's my
Mhm.
favorite part.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Besides like slamming the clay onto the
Right.
wheel,
And the
right?
pottery wheel. Yeah. And that's
We
when it's slow. That's where you'll find me on
we
the
have
pottery
a
wheel.
lot of interesting people visiting Deep
Mhm.
Creek Lake. It's nice to meet them. And
It's that we just want to create a warm, happy environment, and
yeah.
offer something. It's a great place to hang out on a rainy day at the lake, when there's not much else to do.
Mhm.
Um,
It's always
Yeah.
sunny and 75 here.
yeah. We'll
And
keep
of
that
course,
in
for
mind.
me, she's more working here at the shop than I am. I'm usually like home. I'm the kiln boy,
Mhm.
right? Uh,
Delivery driver, back and forth.
yeah, and firing the kilns and doing the glaze work. And I think that's the one thing I like most is the glaze application,
Mhm. Yeah.
the dance that I go through to put the glazes on.
And that's probably my least favorite part as well, is
Yeah.
glazing. I'm just not that good at it. And
Ah.
he's got that,
Well, it seems like you've settled into your preferences.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we complement each other
Yeah.
well then with the work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And it sounds almost like the kiln side of things could be more meditation, just trying to play with things and, just kind of in your thoughts and I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of maintenance involved on kilns. After a certain number of firings, the elements get brittle and they snap, and lots of lots of maintenance, lots of fixing, and keeping an eye on it. And of course, you don't really turn the kiln on and walk away from it.
Mm.
You have to pretty
For
much
too
stick with
long.
it, and especially the gas kiln because it's real fire, real flame,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to make sure that it keeps burning.
Yeah.
And lots of other things associated with the kilns. The shelf where the glazes drip on it, you have to chisel it off. So there's some hard work that I don't like in that,
Ah.
but mostly I like doing that part.
Yeah. The hard work is less than the enjoyable part
Yeah, right.
when it's all said and done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the last question I have for you all, do you have your first piece or one of your first pieces? And how do you drink your coffee or tea in the mornings? Do
That's
you
so
use
funny.
your own stuff?
That's a funny thing. So yeah, mugs. Okay, we have handmade mugs in our cabinets, but they're not necessarily sellable mugs.
Okay.
They could be our seconds, and that's
Uh-huh.
because we sell so many mugs. So we get our seconds in the
Are they on
cabinet.
rotation or do you have 10,000?
Sometimes we have to weed out some
Yeah.
that are maybe worse than others.
And ceramics is very breakable. If it hits the ground, it's done
Mhm.
for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So one of these
So we
days
keep
I'll have my
replacing
own
them
nice
here.
set of
Yeah.
mugs.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So do you use your own? I mean,
Mhm.
do
Yeah,
you
we use
use
our own.
yours? Does Ron use his?
Whatever's available in the
Just
cabinet.
you don't have a favorite?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought maybe you have like the one that just
Well,
I
there
would like
is-
to
there is
say that
one.
we did, but
Oh,
not for
There
you.
is one that
Do
I
you?
have as a favorite.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
okay.
the wood-fired mug with the strikes on it, and then you like the one that has the subtle red apron around the center of it, the gas kiln piece.
Hmm.
Okay, well, anyway, something that we should mention is that we used to do wood firing. We
Uh-huh.
had what's called a train style wood kiln.
Okay.
And it's basically a chamber that slopes gently uphill.
Mm-hmm.
There's a firebox in the front, and then a chamber where you put the pots, and then there's a tall chimney. and it's staying up all night stoking the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Every 3 minutes, putting another 3 pieces of wood in it,
Oh, wow.
and flames leaping up out of the chimney, burning up through the sky, and they got to be really popular. We had like a lot of parties going on with the wood firings in the backyard, and a lot of other local potters from Frostburg area and so forth would join us, and we'd take shifts stoking the fire and so forth. And it was pretty much almost a 24-hour firing in a lot of cases.
It's a lot of work.
But
We got too old for that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot
Yeah.
of work, but it
Mhm.
sounds
And
like a lot of fun too.
It
the
was-
other potters that were
time, it
helping,
was.
the other potters that were helping got old too, so we all quit
Yeah.
basically. And, but the effects of the wood kiln was different because the wood ash would fly through the kiln and stick to the pieces,
Hmm.
and there's lots of alkalines, and ashes would melt at a certain temperature and turn to a color, which I think that's where the idea of glazing ceramics came from to begin with, when they realized that at a certain temperature, certain woods would produce certain colors on the pots.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it grew to what we have today, which is pretty full palette of colors.
Yeah.
But the wood kiln was especially a lot of fun, just staying up all night drinking beer and shoving wood in it.
Every 3 minutes.
You don't have to put that in there.
Yeah.
It sounds fun.
No, the beer was not every 3 minutes. The wood was.
Okay. Yeah, wood every 3 minutes. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you both for taking the time to sit and
Thank
chat.
you. Thank you
Sure.
for doing this
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, we'll be writing an article for
Okay.
the March Lakefront magazine, and
Wonderful.
we'll put this out as a podcast too. So I'll go around and take some pictures.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.